We're going to be launching an inquiry about Bud Light and InBev, and it could be something that leads to a derivative lawsuit filed on behalf of the shareholders of the Florida Pension Fund, because at the end of the day, there's got to be penalties for when you put business aside to focus on your social agenda at the expense of hardworking people.
So it's pretty clear at this point that a bunch of conservatives lighting up cases of Bud Light with assault rifles wasn't enough to kill Anheuser-Busch. But don't worry, they have a backup plan, and Ron DeSantis is previewing it right there. Just yesterday, he sent a letter to the manager of Florida's state pension fund, which owns shares of InBev. He urged the manager to consider suing the company because he said it, quote, breached legal duties owed to its shareholders by going woke. Going woke, of course, is a strictly defined legal thing, and they did it. Anyway, he explained to Jesse Waters, we had the pension fund. Ron DeSantis, I'll remind you, you don't have anything. Even a snowball's chance of hell in winning the Republican primary. We had over $50 million worth of InBev stock, and Florida's pension fund's about $180 billion. So you can understand why Ron DeSantis would be so hyper-focused on this one particular share stock's performance in the pension fund. I mean, after all, it does make up 0.028% of the fund's portfolio. And after months of being battered by Republicans for hyper-focusing on what one company, Disney, is doing in Florida, why not focus in a hyper, insane fashion on what InBev is doing? I want to remind you, by the way, Anheuser-Busch is still down from before they did an extremely limited partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, who has done absolutely nothing wrong. The stock is down about 12% since that started. To put that in perspective, the stock is where it was at in February of this year. But the fact that it's 12% down, specifically because of the advocacy of people like Ron DeSantis, he thinks that the company can be sued. That basically they're gonna turn go woke, go broke into a legal strategy going forward. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not involved in any of this stuff, but I would imagine that his statements about Bud Light are gonna be a part of that trial if it happens. He tried to tank the stock of that apparently is such an important part of his state's pension fund. But this is what he's doing. I don't know if this is the solution to the problems he's having in his attempt to take down Donald Trump, or maybe he's already sort of kissed that goodbye and he's just trying to reassert his popularity inside of Florida. But this doesn't seem like it's addressing the issues that regular Americans are concerned with.
I am actually a lot more excited about this than John is. I think it's an interesting precedent. Do I think he's gonna win? No, John's right, it's very unlikely. Having said that, wait, we can sue corporations for political actions? Can we sue them for donating to politicians? And what if people point out that they donate to politicians, then people get really mad and their stock goes down? Does that mean they've breached some sort of responsibility to pension funds in blue states as well as red states? Well, you are opening up an interesting can of worms, Ron DeSantis. And that's why, by the way, his donors are worried about this line of attack. The Republican establishment is very worried, and they were supporting, all these people were supporting Ron DeSantis. Now all of a sudden, the Republican establishment was like, I don't know about attacking corporations. They're our daddies. What are you doing? You can't hit daddy. And then finally, the folks that are the most concerned are, I mean, I said the establishment, but other Republican politicians, they're like, what are you doing? These guys fund all of our campaigns. If you open up the store and progressives run through it, what if they can't participate in politics anymore? How would Republicans ever win a single election without bankrolling, without getting bankrolled to the tune of billions of dollars by these corporate interests? So you want to keep going, DeSantis? And finally, of course, media, which we'll get to in a second. Corporate media and all portions of corporate media, mainstream media, right-wing media, they're all furious with them because if corporations get out of politics, then they won't have an extra $17 billion in political ads next cycle. So the media is like, wait a minute, okay, and then he brags about that. No, you missed the point. But we're gonna get back to the media in a second. Nina.
Think that epiphany about, oh my God, DeSantis is on to something that we might be able to use. I'm loving that. I didn't see that either. You took that all the way to the hole on that one. But I wanted to say about the sanctimonious, which I think Trump labeled him quite nicely there. He's empty. He is an empty suit. Florida, please, y'all know that you can do much better. Shame on you for unleashing this fool on us. And we must make sure he never becomes president of the United States of America. He wants to talk about, mishandling the funds. He's mishandling the funds of the taxpayers of that great state. Shipping migrants all over the country using taxpayers' dollars to do that. Boxing with Minnie and Mickey Mouse and Daisy and Donald Duck and Goofy and the rest of them. I mean, what kind of sorry, lonely, sad man must you be to pick a fight with the Disney characters? And then woke is not working for him. I mean, I want our viewers to understand this. The polling has been done, and the majority of the American people and also the people in that state, they care about the damn economy. Stupid, it is the economy. That is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth concern. They do not care about his war on woke. It's not working for him whatsoever. He's a desperate man grasping at straws. He is weak, he is a coward, and he's also a bigot on top 100%. Of that.
Yeah, before we play this compilation, I just want to remind everyone, because I don't think that you can be reminded enough, that while everyone obviously can make their own decisions about whether they're gonna support a company or not, and if you start a boycott, we may not always agree with why you're doing it. People were mad at Chick-fil-A for donating to legal efforts that were discriminatory against members of the LGBTQ community. We can all evaluate all these individual things. I just want to remind everyone, they sent a promotional six-pack to Dylan Mulvaney as a way of saying, hey, I'm glad that you're happy. That's it. Dylan Mulvaney hasn't done anything. Yeah. Dylan Mulvaney did not kill a bunch of nuns or anything. I just want to remind everyone, that's the entire genesis of their frustration with Anheuser-Busch, is they sent a promotional six-pack to a perfectly lovely human being.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right to point that out, John. I want to point out one other thing before you watch this clip. So when DeSantis launched, we showed you all the clips of the entire media being like, "Oh, DeSantis, what a wonderful, amazing entrant! Oh, this good, yeah, that's it. Trump is done." And remember, after the midterms, all of Trump's candidates lost. Everybody thought he was done, and everybody had high praise for DeSantis on all the cable channels. But then he attacked Disney, a corporation, and corporate media. All of a sudden, just like we tell you guys all the time, found a way to unite. Oh, when we're fighting how sexy M&Ms are, Mr. Potato Head, the other things, we're all fighting, we don't like each other. It's an economic issue that affects corporations. All of a sudden, they're not fighting anymore. Let's watch.
Governor DeSantis is close to making a fool of himself with his Walt Disney obsession.
Talk about stepping on a rake, getting in a fight with your largest employer.
If you're gonna take on every business that decides to celebrate the LGBTQ plus community, you're gonna be taking on a lot of different woke corporations. It worked when he was beating Disney, but he got outmaneuvered, and now it just seems this petty tit for tat. What is the end game here in sight?
This is a big employer inside Florida. I think the governor should sit down with him. I don't think the idea of building a prison next to a place that you bring your family is the best idea. I think it would be much better if you sat down and solved the problems.
Look at that, conservative channels and so-called liberal channels and so-called moderate channels, they all agree, do not attack corporations. So whether they're right-wing like CNBC and Fox News is, or pretend left-wingers like MSNBC, we're saying these are all part of corporate media. Mainstream media and right-wing media actually do good cop, bad cop on us, just like the Republicans and Democrats do. And so as long as DeSantis or any other politician, Biden, Pelosi, McConnell, are being good boys and little girls, well, then they will get praise on these channels. And on economic issues, they always close ranks. MSNBC and all the other so-called left-wing channels also hated the idea of getting rid of student debt. They all hated the idea of Medicare for all. Every anchor, every pundit spoke out against it. Interesting that when it comes to protecting the status quo and multinational corporations, corporate media, all agree. They're trying to distract you with the culture wars, when in reality, the whole establishment serves corporate interests.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.